I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the
I
real?
can hear you.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlemagne.
I really,
Come on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't
No,
tell
no, no, no,
sometimes.
no. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a
And
problem?
it's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
A few years later.
He's out. Do you think you might endorse Vice President Kamala Harris should she get the nomination?
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely would endorse Vice President Kamala Harris. I supported Kamala Harris in 2020 when she ran for president. I was out there on the campaign trail with her. She was the only reason that I voted for the Biden-Harris ticket to begin with. And, we have our, disagreements on air and off air. But I think that, she is the perfect person, to be in to fight in these unprecedented times, right?
Does Joe feel betrayed by any of that, or does he understand that it was for the country also?
I mean, look, he's going to speak tomorrow. We'll hear from him directly, and I think he'll address whatever is on his heart. Like you said, he has a big heart.
Yeah.
He understands where people are. He understands having done this 36 years as a senator, 8 years as vice president, and now almost 4 years as president. He gets it. He gets where we are as a country. Let's not forget, there's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake, guys.
They're not kidding.
Mm-hmm. Our democracy is at stake. A woman's right to choose and to make decisions on their own bodies at stake. And let me
people's incomes
are at stake. There's so much voting rights is at stake, and he gets that. I mean, let's not forget why he ran in the first place. In 2020, he decided to jump in. He didn't have to.
Yeah.
He decided to jump in because he wanted to really save the soul of this nation.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about this extremely fascinating video that I hope and I pray that every independent voter is thinking like Dave Portnoy when it comes to what the Democrats just did in front of our faces. A conversation that, quite honestly, guys, I got to tell you, I might be having every single day up until the election, okay? Because I'm not going to let this go. I am not going to let go of the fact that Democrats just overthrew democracy in their own party, and they installed a new nominee that has not received one primary vote ever from Democrat voters. And they did it with wealthy party elites. This is what they did. After lecturing us for the last 4 years on how Trump is such a big threat to democracy and that they're the party of democracy. If you want to save the country, vote Democrat. Now, you already have these clowns, like, for example, Charlemagne the God, that is one of these people. They said, I can't vote for Trump because he's a threat to democracy, and we got to vote for Joe Biden because Trump a threat to democracy. Even though he wouldn't endorse Joe Biden, now that Kamala is the candidate, it seems like she's going to be the candidate. I can endorse Kamala, right? I can endorse the Coup candidate, right? This is what they're doing. It's almost as if none of these people actually care about any of the things that they claim they care about so much, right? One of the reasons why we have to stop Trump, but for whatever reason, it doesn't apply to Democrats. Now, again, I'm hoping that the average independent voter, the average person can see this and they realize that, hey, we can't vote for this, right? Like, we cannot in good conscience stand behind a Democrat candidate that did not receive one primary vote, that was installed by elites, okay? We can't stand by this on principle. Because trust me, if the Republican Party did that to Trump, which they wanted to do in 2016, right? This is exactly what they wanted to do to Trump. They wanted to overthrow him. They just couldn't, okay? Because in the Republican Party, they actually go along with the will of the people, at least when it comes to that, right? The primary votes. So, if they were to do that, though, I would not support the Coup candidate, right? Just out of principle that party just threw out my vote, right? But again, that's not how Democrats work. Apparently, again, it is vote blue no matter who, even if it's the result of a coup. This is what they believe, because Trump must be stopped to save democracy, right? Overthrow democracy to save democracy. Dave Portnoy, who I would characterize as an independent, I just love his take on this, because I'm hoping and praying more people are seeing this and realizing this, just like Dave Portnoy, because it's so in your face that I don't understand how anybody does not see what the Democrat Party is doing and is not very disturbed by what we are witnessing in front of our face.
Okay, I got to do another rant here. And I'm going to get, hey, pizza man, stick to pizza. Hey, sports guy, stick to sports. People are sending that. Hey, shut up, you're dangerous. Ironically, I'm sure the same exact people who were so outraged when I think it was Laura Ingram's told LeBron to shut up and dribble a basketball. They were so outraged by that. But now, when I'm talking, they don't like what I'm hearing. Stick to pizza. If you're an American citizen, you care about this country, you're always allowed to talk about what's going on in this country. So those people who are telling me, Democrats of all people, who are always the most intolerant, which is crazy, the extreme left, when they don't like what you're saying, it's suddenly shut up, no debate. So you shut up. Now here's this rant. Again, I'm a libertarian. I'm very much pro-choice. I don't agree. I'm not religious really at all. So there's a lot on the right I don't agree with. But I hate the left. I hate the extreme left. And they are reminding me why I cannot vote for them. And I cannot vote for Kamala, because not even that they're trotting out Kamala now and they whacked Joe Biden just like I said they were gonna. They trotted him out for the debate. The fact that they've hid for years that he was a head of lettuce from the American public. It's not that they go and say, hey, all these videos that the American people see of Joe Biden literally having a dementia moment and being out of it, deep fakes, not real. And then they just reverse course and literally force him to resign by threats. Who knows what they said to him behind doors or what package they came up with. Pelosi, Obama, Clooney, all pushing this old man down a flight of stairs. Forget all that. They did it fine. They hijacked democracy. No other way to say it. You know, Kamala, newsflash, ran for president in 2020. You know how many votes she got? Zero. She was so disliked and such a bad candidate, she didn't make it to the first primary. And I guess she's never going to have to get a real vote because she's been handpicked on purpose by the people who have been running Joe for the last 2 or 3 years. Now they're going to try to run her and trot her out. It's disgusting. It's a hijacking of democracy. They knew Joe wasn't fit before, and they waited. Fine. All that, fine. Take it with a grain of salt. For the Democrats, like a Rob Reiner, this is the tweet I saw of Rob Reiner that just sent me off. Democracy is saved. Kamala's running. And all these people now, Kamala, AOC, you just said it was a coup 3 days ago, AOC. Now, Kamala. The Democrats and the left, the way they shit on our face and tell us it's 80 and sunny is so infuriating. Just admit you hijacked democracy. Just admit you don't care if fucking Mussolini or a head of lettuce was running against Trump. You hate him so much, you're willing to trample on democracy, steal the vote from the American public, the most supposedly important right an American has, the right to vote. You have stolen it from the Democratic Party. You have said you don't get to choose who runs for president. We do. A group of elite, small people are going to handpick and shove down your throat who you vote for. Just admit that. But this democracy is saved and America is saved. It's the lowest point for democracy in my lifetime. Just say you hate Trump so much you're willing to do whatever it takes to beat Trump, and it doesn't matter what rights you steal, stomp on, or whatever, you're willing to do it. If you say that, at least I'll have an ounce of respect. But this democracy is saved when you've absolutely done the worst thing for democracy. It's like we're a third world country now.
Facts. I mean, this is what really concerns me about the direction that this country is headed in when you talk about Democrat power and control, because that's what this is about. That's the only way it makes sense. Okay, you got to understand what the real definition of democracy is. It's simply Democrat power and control. And you have the mainstream liberal media going along with this as well, too. Again, it wasn't just the Democrats lecturing us on democracy. It was the media as well, too. And the media is now slobbing all over Kamala Harris, right? Coordinating her as the second coming of the DEI Jesus, right? This is what the mainstream media is doing right now. Instead of talking about the fact that, again, democracy was just overthrown in the Democrat Party. Like, Kamala Harris is not a legitimate candidate. She's not somebody that the people voted for. In fact, she haven't received one vote ever in a Democrat primary, presidential primary. But that's not being discussed. It's not being talked about. It's being looked over. In fact, if you bring it up, they say, oh, you're scared, right? Well, you must be scared to face Kamala in the general election. And it's like, no. It's not about being scared of Kamala. Nobody's scared of Kamala. I'm legitimately disturbed by what I just witnessed from the Democrat Party. Even though, look, guys, I've been telling you that the Democrats are anti-democratic for years now. This is not something that I just realized. But when you see it happen so overtly, in such a way that you can't deny, and then you see the establishment powers, the mainstream liberal media, the celebrities, all of these people that were lecturing us on the importance of democracy, get behind something that is just so overtly anti-democratic, and then try to pretend like it didn't happen, and then trying to justify it by claiming that, well, we're doing it because Trump is a threat to democracy. Like Dave Portnoy just said, it is the most infuriating thing ever, right? It is very infuriating because in a sane country where people are actually really paying attention and where the media is actually fair, there's no way that the Democrat Party should be able to exist anymore, guys. The Democrat Party should not be able to exist after what they just did, right? Because the voters would be revolting and saying, no, we are not going to support a party that overthrows our vote, right? Our election, right? Because again, imagine if Republicans did that to Trump. If they said, you know what, we're not going to allow you guys to vote for Trump. He's not going to be the candidate. Do you think that Republicans would just say, okay? Do you think they say, oh, well, we got to get behind this person? No, I actually don't. I think conservatives would just out of principle say, no, like we are not going to support the Republican Party anymore because of that, right? This is part of the reason why Republicans chose not to convict Trump in the Senate trial and to take away his ability to run, because they knew that that would destroy the party, right? That the people would backlash and say, you just took away our right to vote for somebody that we want to be president of the United States. Therefore, we're not going to support you anymore. But again, that doesn't exist in the Democrat Party. But yet they're telling us that democracy is saved, right? After they overthrew democracy in their own party. It's offensive, right? It's so offensive that these people really believe that they can just do something like that and then come out here and gaslight you about what they just did and then try to justify it by saying, well, Trump is the threat to democracy. Only a stupid person, right? You have to be a special kind of stupid to line up and vote for Democrats to save democracy after what they just did. And this is why, like, I'm so relieved to see this video from Dave Portnoy, because I consider Dave Portnoy, based off what he said, to be, again, one of these guys that probably is representative of the average independent voter that hopefully is thinking the same way and saying, no, I can't line up behind this, right? I can't get behind something so anti-democratic. Like, it scares me, because if Democrats are willing to do this, what else are they willing to do? Well, we already know they want to overthrow the Supreme Court, right? If you give Democrats power and control to save democracy, I don't think they're ever going to let it go, guys. I really do believe that if Democrats win, our elections are over, right? Democracy is actually really over, okay? No, I'm so serious. Our republic, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not saying that in a way like Rachel Maddow says it, which is, well, if you vote for Trump or if Trump wins, then elections are over. No. I'm not saying it in that way. I'm actually saying it with some legitimate evidence that the party that would be in power, okay, the Democrats, are never going to let it go, because they're showing they're willing to do anything to keep control of power, right? You can say what you want about Trump. At the end of the day, Trump stepped down. Trump said, all right, cool, I'm leaving, right? That's what he did. He gave up at the end of the day. Democrats, though, they never give up. They never just say, you know what, we lost fair and square. And I guarantee you, if Trump wins, they're not going to be saying they lost fair and square, right? That's another aspect of this that I know is coming, right? I know it's coming. If Trump beats Kamala, they will never accept it as a legitimate election. They won't. Again, that's a future conversation, right? But my point is this. I legitimately believe if the Democrats retain the White House, they will never, ever, ever give up power again. And not only that, the person that they install to lead the country, they're not even in charge. The people that are actually in charge are the people that are pulling their strings, right? The wealthy elite, Obama, Clinton, Pelosi. These are the people that are running the Democrat Party. These are the people that are calling the shots, not the president, not the Democrat nominee. Anybody that's put up in the Democrat Party is a puppet, an absolute puppet. So even if you vote for that person, you really are not voting for them. That's not really what you're getting. There's nothing democratic about the Democrat Party. It is an authoritarian party, straight up, that are run by elites, shadowy figures behind closed doors that don't get held accountable for the decisions that they make. And again, it's not like we have a strong Republican Party to fight back against it, right? Half of these Republicans are on board with it, right? They're in on it. So again, that is why this election is so important. And this is why I think this video is so important, because if people are thinking the same way that Dave Portnoy is thinking, then that gives me hope. The Democrats cannot win this election. It just can't happen.
The way this thing's being run. Just say that, and at least I can have an ounce of respect. And for all the people who are being, Dave, you're dangerous. Dave, shut up. Dave, what are you talking about? Stick to pizza, stick to boards. You know not what one person who has sent me a message or tried to explain, you know not what one of them has done? Explained how I'm wrong about any of it. They're just like, shut up, shut up, shut up. If one person can explain how anything I've said is wrong, I'll buy you a boat and be your captain.
Yeah, well, they can't explain why it's wrong because it's not, right? Just like the video I did yesterday with Stephen A. Smith, when he was talking about Trump bringing up this very same point. He was like, well, I can't disagree with it, but just don't try to fix it, right? Don't try to remedy it, okay? Don't try to keep Joe Biden on the ballot. Don't use lawfare in order to try to fix the problem. Don't try to uphold democracy is what Stephen A. Smith argued, okay? Yes, I can't disagree that Democrats did overthrow democracy. Just don't try to fix it, right? This is the argument that he made. So no, they can't disagree with it. This is why when people bring it up, they want to deflect and say, oh, well, you must be scared of Kamala. You must be scared to face Kamala. You think Trump is going to lose. And no, it's not actually about that at all. It's actually really about the fact that you guys are massive hypocrites and you are everything that you claim that you are against. That's what it's really about, okay? So, again, I'm hoping that voters see it the same way that Dave Portnoy is seeing it. If you don't see it this way, I don't know exactly what else it will take to wake you up to the fact that the Democrat Party is a party of authoritarianism, and they cannot win this election. They cannot win this election. And in a sane country, Democrats should not have the ability to win the election in regards to support after what they just did. But hey, we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.